Hi everyone, welcome to this CIS 098-6 cyber defense session, and today we're going to look at the concept of honeypots, an important tool that we can use in order to snare and capture potential attackers and to prevent them from causing unnecessary damage and unauthorized use of our systems. So, first things first, what is a honeypot? Well, in computing, a honeypot is a computer security mechanism set to detect, deflect, or in some manner counteract attempts at unauthorized use of information systems. Generally, a honeypot will consist of some data, for example in a network site, that appears to be a legitimate source and part. It can also be a resource of value to the attacker, but actually it's isolated and monitored, and it enables blocking or analysing the attackers. So it's similar to sting operations that are often used by the police. There are 5 main categories of honeypot: a production honeypot, a research honeypot, pure honeypots, high interaction honeypots, and low interaction honeypots. And over the next few slides we're going to take a look at each of those in turn. Production honeypots are amongst the easiest to use, but they only capture limited information and are primarily used by corporations. Production honeypots are placed inside the production network with other production servers by the organisation, and normally production honeypots are low interaction honeypots, which are easier to deploy. They give less information about the attacks or attackers than research honeypots, but nevertheless are used by organisations. Research honeypots are run to gather information about the motives and tactics of black hat hackers communities targeting different networks. These honeypots do not aid or add direct value to the organisation, but they are used in order to research the threats that organisations may face and learn how to better protect against them. Similar to intrusion detection and prevention systems, we can classify honeypots into 3 main categories: pure honeypots, high interaction honeypots, and low interaction honeypots. And over the next few slides we'll take a look at each of those different categories and what they involve. Pure honeypots are full-fledged production systems. This means that the activities of the attacker are monitored by using a bug tap that has been installed on the honeypots linked to the network. No other software needs to be installed. Even though a pure honeypot is useful, the stealthiness of the defense mechanisms can actually be ensured by a more controlled mechanism. High interaction honeypots imitate the activities of the production systems that host a variety of services, and that allows the attacker, therefore the attacker may be allowed a lot of services to waste their time. Utilising virtual machines, multiple honeypots can be hosted on a single physical server. Therefore, even if the honeypot is compromised, it can be restored more quickly. Low interaction honeypots only simulate the services frequently requested by attackers. Since they consume relatively few resources, multiple virtual machines can easily be hosted on one physical system. The virtual systems have a short response time and less code is required in order to be able to reduce the complexity of the virtual system's security. An example of a low interaction honeypot is HoneyD, which can be freely viewed using an internet search for HoneyD. Malware honeypots are another type of honeypot, but they're used to detect malware by exploiting the known replication and attack vectors of those malware. Replication vectors, such as a USB flash drive, can easily be verified for evidence or modifications, either through manual means or through using special purpose honeypots that emulate those drives. Malware increasingly is used to search and steal cybercurrency. Spam is increasing, and spammers abuse vulnerable resources such as open mail relays and open proxies. So we can use tools and techniques through honeypots in order to be able to catch that and protect our network from unnecessary traffic and unnecessary emails that could cause damage to the network. As an example of a spam honeypot, we have Project HoneyPot, which is a distributed open source project that uses honeypot pages installed on websites around the world. These honeypot pages disseminate uniquely tagged spam trap email addresses, and therefore we can detect who spammers are, put them on a list, and prevent our networks from being overrun by these spammers. We are increasingly seeing attacks against databases, typically through web applications utilizing things like SQL injection. So we can set up a database honeypot in order to be able to capture these and capture people in the act of trying to launch SQL injection attacks, thinking that they are legitimately targeting systems, but in fact we are monitoring their activities and learning about their approaches. In this video, we've taken a look at the notion of honeypots, tools and techniques that we can utilize in order to capture and observe attackers who might be trying to gain unauthorized access to our systems. And we've seen a number of approaches that we can utilize, including things like malware honeypots, spam versions, email traps, database honeypots, and many more. In the following lectures, we're going to look at how we can protect networks through things like network access controls and network access protocols. We can utilize those in order to protect network traffic, so rather than working at the application layer, we can actually be capturing and monitoring things at the network layer within our systems and our networks. So, bye for now.